Level 90, in the sting of things. Nyapine's gaze is transfixed upon the crowd until he spies you. What business do you have with me? My apologies, you were Brukivu's guest, were you not? I am Nyapine, and I have journeyed far from the northern valleys of Zaktaral to reach this grand city. Tell me, traveler, what is your name? Rest assured I shall remember it. Shame that we must meet under these unfortunate circumstances. My village's prized possession was among the treasures stolen by the passage of the Unbound. It is known as the Heartstring, and the soul of a dread scorpion, one of the Tural Vidral, is sealed within. The creature once hunted its prey using an array of toxins produced within its body and was a menace to all. Those granted the Heartstring's gifts may wield this fearsome power as they see fit. We believe the thieves have already taken it across the ocean to Eorzea and will doubtless wreak havoc in the wrong hands. As I seek a healer to remedy any harm wrought by the Heartstring's toxins in that faraway land. I won't mince words, you are precisely the sort of woman I seek, and we must act quickly to avoid the worst. Will you lend us your aid? Aiding those in need is what I do. Fine, but don't expect any miracles. You have my gratitude. To the matter at hand, then, while I was making inquiries here in Tiliolol regarding the thieves' whereabouts, some Eorzean merchants told me a rather intriguing tale. Specifically, those returning from Limsa Lamenza bring fell tidings, tales of able-bodied men and women suddenly losing their vision. All too familiar account, as the Heartstring allows mastery over all manner of poisons, including those that inflict temporary blindness. A great deal of training is required to properly utilize the Scorpion's gifts, but the blinding toxin is one of the simplest to wield. Seems to me the brigands are the masterminds of these strange incidents, harnessing the treasure's power for their own nefarious ends. Loshkana, the village elder's daughter, makes for Limsa Lamenza in pursuit of the Heartstring. I intended to set sail with her, but my foot was badly injured by a strange mechanical doll during the thieves' ambush. Loshkana insisted I remain here to recover, and she would not take no for an answer. I must ask that you cross the sea in my stead and provide Loshkana with your aid. Considering that our enemy wields deadly poisons, the danger is too great for her to face alone. Based on when she departed, I presume she's arrived at her destination by now. She boarded a merchantman captained by a woman named Balbrida, who is primarily based in Limsa Lamenza. She may be able to help you locate Loshkana. Limsa. Okay. Balbrida. Hi, I'm Balbrida, and if you were planning to sell your healing services to me and my crew, don't. Me ship ain't setting sail for a short while. Looking for a Tirali woman named Loshkana. Aye, she made the crossing with us, trying to retrieve some sort of treasure, as I recall. I told her Hawker's Alley was her best bet for the latest chatter, so you may find her wandering thereabouts. Keep an eye out for Urine Lass in a red tunic carrying a spear on her back. She can't have gone too far. Oh, hello there, stranger. Can I help you? Rapine sent you to help, did he? Seeing as I've hit something of a dead end, your timing couldn't be better. Suppose proper introductions are in order, then. I am Loshkana of Dawntrail, and you are? Pleasure to meet you. With that, we're strangers no longer. I'm not sure how much Nearpine's already told you, but I assume you'll want to hear more about the day of the theft. My father and Nearpine had just set a trap using one of the heartstrings toxins, and were on their way to return the treasure to its resting place. An evil presence stirred in the wilds that night. Mechanical dolls with great glowing eyes leapt from the shadows and gravely wounded them both. My father survived the encounter, thankfully, but he was unable to give chase. Convalesces now in my home village. Culprit's faces eluded him in the darkness, but he had heard two voices, a man's and a woman's. He recognized neither, so we're certain they aren't from our village. Whoever these two were, they must have been the ones controlling the dolls before making off with the heartstring. Rukivu said they're part of a passage of the Unbound, but I'm afraid that's all I know of the culprits. Still, that may change if I can ascertain the cause of the recent blinding incidents. Never occurred here. Unfortunately, I haven't had much luck asking around. The thought of addressing even one person here is, well, overwhelming. When you're from a remote village like mine, the few I've attempted to speak with were too busy to even listen in the first place. You, on the other hand, look ready to take on the world, or at least this city. I'm sorry to ask this of you so soon after we've met, but could you help me gather the latest hearsay at the markets? Many thanks. I'll search the quieter districts for clues in the meantime, and hopefully not get myself lost along the way. Recent chaos in the markets. I'm told the Yellow Jackets have been thoroughly investigating the matter in cooperation with the Adventurers Guild. If you're in a hurry, there's a Yellow Jacket making her rounds by way of the Fisherman's Guild. She'd be a good one to ask. And we'll go ask this one first. That might be the last. Oh yes, I know about the blinding incidents. I experienced it firsthand. I was rather peckish, so I purchased some fruit from a local stall and took a few bites on the way home, but before I knew it, my vision went dark. I stood there shaking and crying, terrified of what would happen if the darkness never faded. I thought I was alone until I heard a woman nearby howling with laughter. Fortunately, I didn't suffer for long. A passing adventurer cleared my sight with it Tsuna, and I went about the rest of my day as though nothing happened, but I haven't been able to look at the fruit the same way since. A little laggy. Blinding incidents? I know of them. Started with some bad fruit at a stall in Alker's Alley. A few bites in, and folks suddenly go writhing on the ground like beached sea serpents, claiming they can't see a bloody thing. Don't blame them for raising hells with the shopkeep, neither. Poor sods could have moved an elm till the treatment came and they could see properly. Shopkeep was rightly furious about the whole ordeal and took it up with his longtime supplier. Escalated into a real spectacle, it did. Turns out the same problem was occurring at other stalls and with the fruit from different suppliers, so it don't make sense to pin the blame on an individual sellers if the whole supply chain's tainted. Even now, nobody knows what's causing it. Grim business, I tell you. The investigation of Hawker's Alley has proven successful, but you sense there is more to be found. Seek out the Yellow Jacket on patrol who may have further details on the blinding incidents. Oh, be good. You're Zilizati, aren't you? The Zilizati. It's an honor to meet the realm's vaunted hero up close. Is there aught I can assist you with? I hear all sorts on my rounds, so if it's information you're after, you've come to the right person. Oh yes, the serial blindings. They're causing a terrible ruckus around here. You know, a woman in red came this way a few moments ago to ask about the very same. I take it you two are acquainted? Aha, I thought so. As I told her, another incident was reported yesterday morning. The victim bought fruit from a local vendor, took a few bites, and temporarily lost all vision, same as the rest. Vendor in question was last seen to the south of the Octant, so I'm headed there next to follow their trail. You're welcome to join me if it'll help your investigation. Just go up. Paralyzed, we've got to do something. I have no talent for healing magics, and I don't have any spine drops on me either. Perhaps Asuna might do the trick? I'm healed. I'm healed. Oh, thank the 12, and you lot, of course. Excellent work on behalf of the Yellow Jackets. I owe you my thanks as well. Now, I hate to ruin the mood, but I'll need to report this to my superiors. Could you tell us what transpired here before we found you, sir? It was awful, just awful, I tell you. I was walking home after another arduous day at work, minding my own business, when a Lalafellan merchant suddenly called out to me. You, my good man, look exhausted, he said. Why not soothe your weary spirit and fill your empty belly with one of the realm's sweetest apples? You've earned it. Nay, you deserve it. It was a tempting sales pitch, but I wasn't keen to gamble on potentially cursed fruit. Sensing my apprehension, he proudly declared his merchandise safe to eat. Sounded sincere enough, even took a bite of the apple himself. No tainted fruit here, he boasted, just normal, honest-to-God's produce. He sold me the apple at a reasonable discount, and all seemed well. It isn't until I took my first bite. Numbness spread through my body like wildfire. I collapsed to the ground, struggling to speak a single word. The vendor and his fruit had suddenly betrayed me, yet I knew not how. As I fell, a woman's shrill laughter echoed from a few yalms away, and the vendor soon followed. I never saw the woman for myself, and what with the whole not being able to move business, but between her laughing fits, she made mention of heartstring or some such. Oh, you poor dear, and this woman you mentioned, you're positive she spoke the word heartstring? Surely as the wind blows, for a mercy, neither she nor her vendor friend tried to steal my belongings, but they've certainly stolen my dignity. I hope those conniving charlatans get what's coming to them. This is dangerous fruit we're dealing in. First blindness, now paralysis. The first things first, I should escort this man home. If you've a mind to pursue the perpetrators further, then have care out there, all right? There's no doubt about it. Then our thieves are at large, right here in Limsa Laminza. Blinding toxin is simple enough to master, but it's unsettling how quickly they've learned to inflict paralysis as well. Just don't see what purpose this all serves. Were you able to learn anything of their motives? They take pleasure in their victims' pain, but nothing more. At least nothing more that we know of. Whatever their true aim may be, we must discover it quickly before more victims suffer at their hands. Hunter must adapt to their environment if they wish to snare their prey, but I have so much to learn about this place. Still, I've tracked them this far, which is a good start. For the time being, I'd like to petition those officers in yellow for any new information they acquire on the heartstrings whereabouts. When we come across any promising leads, I hope I can count on your support again. Level 90 and the sting of things complete. Level 92, causing problems on purpose. Lakshana seeks a word of advice. Say, can you spare a moment? I'll try to start on a positive note then. The good news is that there have been no further incidents involving poisoned fruit. Should be happy about that, but it's not exactly conducive to tracking down our thieves. Despite my best attempts, my investigation's at a standstill. Dilly. Bring news from the Coral Tower. A Lalafellan man matching the description of that fruit vendor was seen leaving the city with a urine woman. It seems they were making for Airport. Increased patrols of late, so if I had to guess, the culprits are finding it harder to operate within the city. Seems to be forcing them to withdraw for the time being. Airport, you say? That's on this island, isn't it? Yes, that's right. It's possible to go on foot, but the ferry by the Fishermen's Guild can take you straight there. While we Yellow Jackets must continue to keep an eye on things here, it's reassuring to know an adventurer of Zilly's caliber is on the case. If you plan to pursue the suspects, Airport's your best bet. That's it, I should get back to work. If it was an honor to meet you and your friend, safe travels to you both, and give those crooks a good thrashing for me. City's protectors place so much trust in your abilities. I'm lucky to have you on my side. When I first set sail for yours, I feared I'd never seen the heartstring again, but we're on one step closer to bringing it home. In any event, we'd best find our way to the port town before that pair of troublemakers defiles another fruit supply. I'll go on ahead and take the ferry. Meet me in Airport once you're ready. Ah, there you are. You're a welcome sight among such unfamiliar scenery. Ferry skipper was eager to teach me all about this area on the ride here, so I believe I have a general idea of what's what. Wouldn't want to lose my bearings on a hunt this important. Asked him about our merchants, but he said he hadn't seen a pair like that. Skipper did mention another merchant, though, one who's well versed in the comings and goings of his fellow traders. If anyone sighted our unlikely duo, it's him. Let's hope it's enough to put us on the culprit's trail again. Merchant we seek should be peddling his wares by the gates to the Skull Valley, so let's start there. Hey, can I help you? Paula fell and a urine traveling together. I've spied them, though I'd never seen them before. They certainly made an impression. Sold some potions and elixirs to a pair of fresh-faced adventurers on the cheap, from what I could tell. Those merchants really are our culprits, and those potions are most likely tainted with toxins. Toxins, you say? That don't bode well. The adventurers who bought them, a marauder named Wissam and a conjurer named Zirig, already left on their next job, said they were escorting one of the local farmers over to Swift Perch. They're good lads, the two of them. They've been making life easier for the small folk here ever since they arrived, and I'd hate to see something happen to them. Someone needs to warn them about the potions right quick. Leave that to us. Swift Perch is southeast of here. Yes, let's find them before the poison takes hold. Oh, it's not in Swift Perch, so... Phew, thank the gods you found us when you did. Those potion sellers must have swindled us. One draught of elixir was all it took to send Zurich into the most furious fit of hiccups I've ever seen. Poor bastard couldn't cast a single spell. Who are you, calling a poor bastard? The heartstrings toxins are at work here. We should be able to cleanse them with Asuna, just like last time. Sorry, did you say? Oh, Sada. We'll have plenty of time to chat after Zurich stops hiccuping up a storm. Hate to ask more of you, but if you could cast Asuna on my partner, it'd be much appreciated. I can speak again. You have my thanks. Bloody hells. First we waste our hard-earned coin on poison potions, and now there are killer mammoths on the loose. What's the world coming to? Who goes there? Show yourself. Oh me, oh my, our spear-wielding friend is sharp of eye. You're the frauds from Airport. Why, yes, and watching your scrawny compatriot suffer was the highlight of our day. I admit the poison was meant to silence him, but hiccups, 'twas comedy at its finest. Perhaps the elixir reacted with the venom. Regardless, we've had our fill of fun from the results, so I shan't complain. Venom, then you must be the thieving cowards from the Passage of the Unbound. Oh, my sweet fairy apple, you know us? I suppose that means we're famous. I can't believe it. Oh, who am I kidding? Yes, I can. Indeed, I am the Passage of the Unbound's alchemist extraordinaire, the illustrious Elarit, and I am so very, very pleased to make your acquaintance. Kokonoa at your service, Elarit's helping hand and master of mammoths. Your garb is ever so familiar to me, my dear. Ah, don't tell me. You hail from that little village in Tyrol, don't you? My goodness, you've come a long way. How was the voyage? Enjoying the sights? Enough, you've got a lot of explaining to do, starting with the reason you took the heartstrings. Is this part of your organization's grand scheme? Well, well, the apple bites back. 'Tis true that my unbound compatriots harbor lofty ambitions, yes, but I have no interest in overthrowing nations. I merely crave the mires of chaos they've promised me. Aim to bring more laughter into this dreary world, one mischief and a few handy poisons at a time. Kokonoa and I are having oodles of fun expanding our repertoire of toxic treats. Yet there's no greater appeal to our thrills than a healer who can whisk our handy hard work away. Plus, of course, I master a toxin even she can't cure. Ooh, I do love a challenge. Now, I hate to leave you, my dears, but our work here is done and we've a busy schedule ahead of us. Mammoths to mend, venomous misdeeds to master. Ta-ta for now. Oh, wait, damn you. Oh, that stench smells like a corpse just shat itself. This odor is too much to bear. Take me home to the 12's Wood, Wilson. The air is clearer there. Oh no, don't you dare give out on me, Zurich. We've still got a job to do. Mustn't keep our client waiting any longer, but we're in your debt. Thank you again for everything, Miss Lokshana and this here is Zilly. Take care of each other out there. Much as I'd like to track down the Unbound, I know better than to tread further into their territory without a plan. For now, I think we'd best return to Limsa Laminza. Thank you for the support back there. Asuna truly does work wonders. That Ellerite, I can't stop thinking about what she said. My blood boils knowing that this is all some sick game to her. There she toyed with the heartstring for her own amusement. Honestly, even the youngest children in my village have more sense. Still, we did make progress. Now that the villains have revealed themselves, it'll be easier to give chase when they choose to make their next move. In any case, I'll keep you apprised of the latest news as soon as I hear it. We'll be back to the hunt before long. Level 92, causing problems on purpose. Complete. Level 94, living among the deadly. Loshkana is staring wistfully into the horizon. Oh, it's you. You'll have to forgive the dour mood. I don't understand it. How is it that Ellerite and Kokonawa can so grandiosely reveal their true names and identities, yet I remain unable to track them down? Following the latest hearsay, but I haven't had much luck. Not a soul has seen them since the incident with Whistlam and Zirig. But that's not to say I've given up entirely. Now that I know I'm on their trail, I suspect they're using my unfamiliarity with this island to their advantage. I dare say they're lying low outside the city. That's why I propose a trip to the Morby Dry Docks. Folk here often speak of it, but I've yet to go there myself, so it seems a good place as any. If you're game, I'll meet you there. Oh, there you are. While I was waiting for you, this fellow came asking for help. Sorry to trouble you, but my little brother's gone missing and I could use a hand finding him. Said he wanted to see the ships I made, so I started showing him around, but the next thing I knew he was gone. Lad's probably got himself lost. Oh, that poor dear. I know we still have the heartstring to consider, but I'd like to search for this man's brother, if that's all right with you. Much appreciated. I'm sure we'll find him all the faster with your help. Yeah, me thanks. My brother wouldn't say boo to a goose, so I doubt he'd leave the docks on his own. He's got a mop of red hair like mine, so you'll know him when you see him. We'll keep an eye out. I know you're itching to research for him as well, but could I ask you to wait here in case he comes back? Yeah, let's split up so we can cover more ground. Good luck. I'm scared. Where are you? Huh? You're here to take me back to my brother. You found the little one. I'm so glad he's safe. I just wanted to see the ships my brother was working on. I thought I could see him better from higher up, but I lost my way. Sounds like you've had quite the adventure. You were very brave today, so I'll tell you a secret. Even grown-ups get lost. I have an awful time learning my way around somewhere new, even with a map. Really? I guess I'm not the only one. Smile, we like to see those. Now your brother's very worried about you, so you can promise me you won't go wandering off on your own again. Promise I should say sorry to my brother, too. Let's take him back, then. Not you, brother. You're lifesavers, both of you. You deserve a proper reward, but I ain't got much to offer at the moment. We're in no need of coin, just some information if you have it. Have you seen a urine woman and a Lalafellan man around the docks in recent days? One is an alchemist and the other a goldsmith. They'd likely have a few mammoths with them as well. If not, have you heard any rumors of food or drink that causes ailments when you consume them? Blindness or numbness, perhaps? Afraid I haven't seen or heard anything or anyone like that. Sorry I couldn't be of more help to you. That's alright. Knowing they haven't been around the docks is equally helpful. That's good, at least. I'll be praying to the navigator you both find who you're looking for. Any road the two of us ought to be headed home. Thanks again for everything. Good fortune and safe travels to you both. Still no word of the Unbound, but at least we could help those brothers. Children often let their curiosity guide them, which means they'll naturally wander off on their own adventures. I don't blame that man for worrying as much as he did. Seem to know a lot about caring for children. Something tells me you speak from personal experience. I do, in fact. I'm the oldest sibling in my family. I can tell you how many times I've had to search for my brothers and sisters when they were growing up. Now that I think on it, I barely even told you about my family or my village or anything, really. Be happy to share a few stories if you'd like. The ocean view here is beautiful, so we may as well enjoy the scenery and relax a bit. My people hail from the northern valleys of Zaktaral. We're a close-knit community of hunters for the most part. Children are given spears, well-practiced ones, before they even learn to walk, and we hone our tracking skills from a very young age. That's surprising. Seemed second nature to me, but then again, I've encountered my fair share of surprises here as well. Our village rests in a veritable sea of poisonous plants and animals, so the slightest injury on a hunt can prove deadly. Thus, we believe it prudent to begin our training as early as possible. Yet no matter how skilled we might become, accidents are inevitable, and the heartstring proves vital to our survival. Not only does it produce poison, it cleanses it as well. In the right hands, it can dispel some of the deadliest natural toxins known to mankind. It even purifies the beast we hunt. In fact, our diet consists of highly venomous creatures, ones that would normally kill a grown adult if ingested. The heartstring allows us to lead a quiet, peaceful life in lands where others dare not tread. It always has. I suppose that's why I never imagined someone like Elloret would take that away from us. When I left our village, food stores were well stocked, but I can't bear the thought of my younger brothers and sisters going hungry. I must return to Heartstring as soon as I can for their sakes. I wish to bring back their smiles and make them feel safe again, just as we did for that young boy. In any case, thank you for listening. Thinking of home puts me in a good spirits. As long as I remember who and what I'm here for, I'll be all right. I know it. I've kept you long enough. I think it's time we made our way back to Limsa Lamenza, don't you? It was a much needed reprieve, but we'll need to plan for our next destination, and soon. Well now, fancy meeting you here. Good to see you two again. What brings you to Limsa Lamenza? Nothing of import, really just a bit of restocking before our next job, but we happened to spot you along the way. Didn't want to miss the opportunity to greet our heroes. Our client arrived to Swift Perch in one piece, thanks to your timely assistance. Indeed, while I regret that you had to see us in such a pitiable state, we're both grateful for your aid. When last we met, you spoke of pursuing those two charlatans, did you not? Yes, that's right. They've stolen a precious heirloom from my village, so I'm doing everything in my power to return it to its rightful place. But that's the way of it. Bombastic as those two were, we've not seen hide nor hair of them in Elport since. No word of any incidents like ours, either. I have a feeling they won't stay in the shadows for long. If we sniff out any suspicious incidents while we're out and about, we'll keep you informed. I won't say no to some extra pairs of eyes around the island. I've made my base of operations here in the city, so if you hear even a peep about a poisoning, you know where to find us. Well, we may not have found any leads on Elaret, but I'm glad we had a chance to chat. With Wissam and Zerg on our side, things are looking up. For now, I'll keep in touch with our newfound allies. Should I hear any news on our culprits, I'll be sure to let you know. Level 94, Living Among the Deadly, complete. Level 96, Taste of a Toxin Paradise. Loshkana nearly jumps for joy at the sight of you. Am I glad to see you? I've just received word from Wissam and Zerig. Our culprits have finally been spotted. Seems the thieves headed for Upper Lenosha. I offered to make my way there as soon as I could, but Wissam and Zerig and I should hang back for now. Once they've gathered enough information, they'll be headed back to Airport. Let's go and see what news they have to share. Port. No sign of Wissam and Zerig yet. I don't mean to assume the worst, but I admit it. I'm a bit worried. I knew I should have insisted on going. I don't want them injured on my behalf. I say we head out and find them. This Loshkana, terribly sorry for the delay. Wissam, Zerig, thank goodness. How did you fare out there? You found Elarit and Kokonoa yet? Yes? Oh, we found them all right, but it didn't take long for them to find us. We were set upon by Kokonoa's mammoths. His mechanical menagerie greatly outnumbered us and may very well have been our end. Death by mammoths isn't an ideal way to go, mind you, so retreat was our only option. Cowardly though it might sound, we needed to ensure we could keep you aware of the culprit's whereabouts. Before they spotted us, they were stuffing their little metal army into a skiff bound for Camp Bronze Lake, and mark my words, they're plotting something new. Of course, it's entirely possible they seek a quiet route to eastern Lenosha and wish to bypass Bronze Lake instead, but a thorough search of the camp would be wise. Last, the enemy you face is far beyond our capabilities, so this is as far as Wissam and I will be able to go. I'm sorry we couldn't provide more decisive information. Honestly, I should be the one apologizing. You've risked life and limb for me already. I never meant to push you past your limits. Needn't dwell on it. We're as eager to bring those criminals to justice as you. Indeed, we shall at least take pride knowing we could point you in the right direction. We should take our leave for now. Wissam and I ran most of the way here, and I think I speak for both of us when I say we could use a comfortable chair and a hearty meal. None can gainsay your strength, my friends, but I beg you not to underestimate that of our foe. Go well, and may your determination guide you to victory. Camp Bronze Lake. The ferry skipper spoke of the place my first time here. We should hurry and seek passage before Elarit and Kokonoa elude us again. What a lovely camp. Now, if I were a half-crazed alchemist with the heartstring and a new scheme up my sleeve, where would I hide? Ha ha ha, is it just me or are there pigs flying in the sky? Ha ha ha. Ha 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 ha, it hurts to laugh. Oh dear, that doesn't bode well. To the upper levels, quickly. Poisoning the springs, you truly are the lowest of the low. Hehe, you flatter me. 'Twas just a little poison. Really, as a treat, I'm afraid I couldn't contaminate all the water here, but we're having oh so much fun with our shiny new hallucinatory toxin. Step away from the springs, now. Protecting the healer, are we? How sickeningly sweet of you, but you ought to watch your step as well, my dear fairy apple, lest you find yourself seeing stars, or, Ellery, all to miss. Kokonoa, you look absolutely hideous, or should I say adorable. Why, you're as bonny as a porcelain doll. The hells are you on about? Oh, very interesting. Yes, very interesting indeed. I believe I may have poisoned myself. Haha, now there's a predicament. And guess what? Do you recall those antidotes I prepared at the base? Because I've forgotten to bring them. Ahaha. You are your own worst enemy. Do you know that? I suggest we retreat before you decide to dive headfirst into the springs for fun. Unbound scum, you think we'll allow you to walk free after all the chaos you've caused? Well, yes, actually. Have you seen Ellery? She's in no state to contend with you, and I've never been one for rough and tumble. Of course, you're welcome to give chase, provided you have no qualms about leaving these poor souls to laugh themselves senseless. Oh, retreat though we must, I would call today a rousing success, but worry you not, my dearest bushel of busybodies. We've plenty more tricks in store for you, and the entire island, ahaha. Phew, I don't sense any toxins in the waters anymore, so the springs should be safe again. What will happen to the toxins from here? Will the toxins affect the local wildlife? Seeing as Ellery suffered from a taste of her own medicine, I doubt she's mastered much of the heartstrings' power. As such, any poison she produces from it would be relatively weak. Most of her handiwork has already evaporated with the steam. One might compare it to the way those awful unbound smoke bombs dissipate, and thank goodness they do. More capable hands, however, the heart stings poison remains active unless dispelled with the Suna or another form of antidote. The same permanence applies to its cleansing abilities for our food. There's much on my mind, but I think we've bigger problems to address first. Let's make our rounds of the camp and then talk about our next steps. Go and have a look around the springs to ensure the toxins are gone for good. Could I ask you to treat any victims you come across? Hee hee, ah, everything hurts, ha ha ha. Someone please end this nightmare. The hallucinatory toxin is causing the helper fits of unending laughter. Dispel her ailment with a Suna. Much appreciated, madam. I wasn't anywhere near the water when it was poisoned, but the toxin steam must have drifted this way. When I heard the rumblings about mysterious mammoths roaming around the camp recently, I was more than a little apprehensive, but I never expected those mammoths' masters would do something so cruel. Your efforts are helping us put this turmoil behind us, and for that you have my thanks, but I can't simply let you administer this aid alone. I should tend to the remaining victims as well. Aha, what comical costumes you all wear. What humorous dances you dance. Ha ha ha, it's all ha ha ha, too much to bear. Hallucinatory toxin is altering this bather's vision. Dispel her ailment with Asuna. My costume compatriots, they're gone. Farewell, my visions. May you revel in my memory. They say laughter is the best medicine, though I feel far worse than before. Many thanks for putting an end to it. I think I've earned myself another soak and an extra flagon of mulled wine. Pleasant travels to you, healer. Ah, please, please make it stop. Ha ha ha, I can't ha 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 breathe. The hallucinatory toxin is causing this bather fits of unending laughter. Dispel his ailment with Asuna. Oh, thank the gods. I wasn't expecting to nearly laugh myself to death at a place meant for healing, but at least I can breathe easy again. I hear you're chasing after the ones who did this. You're either very brave or very reckless, but I'm inclined to assume the former. Any road, all that laughing has exhausted me, so I may as well take a break from my soak. Thank you again for your kindness, and may the navigator keep you. How goes the healing? Wonderful. I'm glad Asuna proved effective. For my part, I've given the springs a thorough look. The toxins have dissipated completely, so the bather should be safe from here on out. As for Ella Reed and Kokonoa's antics, I've had a moment to reflect on everything. Now that our work is done, do you have a moment to chat? I'm well versed in the numbing and blinding poisons we use on our hunts at home, but something kept troubling me about Ella Reed's toxin. Never seen anything like it. I had no idea it even existed among the Scorpion's gifts. Ella Reed may be inexperienced, but the fact that she's learned to inflict hallucinations is cause for concern. Still, we should try to look on the bright side. She's yet to discover the heart sting's cleansing properties, judging by the way she couldn't cure her own ailments. Knowing her as we do, I reckon she only has toxic trickery on her mind. Konoha, however, handled himself surprisingly well despite his exposure. Do you recall that the man in Limsa Laminza who ate the poisoned apple? He claimed that Kokonoha took a bite yet never suffered its ill effects. He must have some manner of immunity, but how? Reminds me of the attempt on the Sultana's life. Traditional Dunes folk families often drink poison teas to build tolerance. Quite the tale. So the real poison was switched for a sedative with similar properties, and as the Dunes folk, she regularly ingested small amounts of toxins to build a resistance against such things, which allowed her to awaken from her coma. Didn't realize Kokonoha might have had this sort of upbringing, but it would certainly explain why Ella Reed's tricks don't seem to affect him. Few in my village would ever think to consume potentially lethal food or drink without drawing on the heart stink's power, yet the Dunes folk do it gladly. The more I consider our differing approaches to poison, the more fascinating it becomes. I have a feeling the bathers won't want to overhear talk of poisons after what they've been through. Why don't we continue our discussion in Limsa Laminza? Phew, I knew I've been anxious to ascertain our thieves' whereabouts, but things escalated far quicker than I thought. Your presence throughout the whole ordeal was a welcome one. What was not so welcome were Ella Reed's parting words. Whatever she has planned for the whole island, it can't possibly be good. Her acts of mischief have only grown worse since I arrived in this city. We must take the heart sting back before she causes any lasting harm. Of course, it was Wilson and Zurig's efforts that led us to Ella Reed, so I'll have to thank them when I get the chance. In the meantime, I'll do what I can to track down our unruly thieves and report to you as soon as I'm able. Level 96, Taste of Toxin Paradise, complete. Level 98, Downed by the River. Loshkana is carefully planning her next move. I'm glad you're here. I'm on the cusp of a breakthrough in our search, or I'd like to think so. This won't come as a surprise, but Ella Reed and Kokonoa went back into hiding after the Bronze Lake incident. With all their grandstanding, I wasn't expecting them to lay low for so long, but I doubt they'll keep it that way. Fortunately, we have our prior experience to guide us. Until now, our culprits have traveled all over Villbrand, and they don't appear to be retracing their steps. Here, Costa del Sol attracts many visitors, so that seems like a likely target. They say it's owned by an entrepreneur named Gegaruju. Perhaps we can ask if he spied anything out of the ordinary. Picturesque scenery. I hadn't expected Costa del Sol to be so grand. What I gather, Gegaruju should be just up ahead. I don't suppose you're already acquainted with him. I know him well enough, for better or worse, yes. That's not very encouraging, but as long as you're on good enough terms, I'm sure we'll be fine. In any case, let's be on our way. Oh well, if it isn't our favorite intrepid adventurer, what business brings you to my abode? Why, yes, I did spy that lovely specimen of a year. Alas, I was so entranced by her feminine wiles that I cannot recall any such entourage of Lalafell men or mammoths. Ah, would that I never drank that wine she so gracefully gifted me. A single sip and I saw oh so many stars. I thought them wonderful in those first blissful moments. Partook of the drink amongst my retinue of kittens, yet as the rush of stars subsided, I found myself surrounded by a flock of unfamiliar faces instead. First, I presumed the wine caught up to me faster than I anticipated, but time passed and the unknown faces stubbornly remained. I dashed across the shore in terror. In the midst of the mayhem, I could hear her wine-wielding beauty, maniacally laughing in the distance with some other chap. I feared these cackles would be the last thing I ever heard. It's precisely why I found it appropriate to slap the sense back into him. Judging by the way Master Gegaruju was darting around at the time, I suspected he'd been in his cups. Drank the whole bloody bottle, too, so if you wish to investigate the wine itself, I'm afraid that won't be possible. You blame me? Questionability of her wine aside, that woman was immaculate, a sight for sore eyes. Any gentleman of taste would have fallen for her tricks. We may lack the drink in question. We received reports of mammoths roaming Raincatcher Gully not long after the incident. If you intend to investigate this further, you'd be certainly doing us a favor. Any news of wayward mammoths is promising for us. We'll give the gully a look and relay to you whatever we find. Godspeed out there. And our next destination is clear, but before we depart, might I have a word? Based on Gegaruju's account, it's safe to say Ella Reed's discovered a new poison. While similar to the hallucinatory toxin she used at Bronze Lake, it strikes terror into the hearts of its victims instead. I have a bad feeling about this. She's gaining proficiency with the heart sting at an alarming rate, so we must tread carefully when next we cross paths with her. As for the mammoths, Kokonoa doesn't seem the type to send them wandering around aimlessly. So I think they're bound to have some clues on them. If we can track those mammoths down in Raincatcher Gully, we may be able to discern what those two are planning next. It would have been easier to travel to Wineport. Longer. Another one. No. I think we've cleared out the mammoths. How fared your hunt? So they've been keeping a record of the island's rivers. Oddly enough, the mammoths I came across were patrolling the river as well. Now that they've tested their poisons on Bronze Lake Springs, do they mean to take to the rivers next? Watch out! Uh-oh. Oh my, that dart was laced with a potent numbing toxin, but nothing bruises our favorite fairy apple. It seems you never cease to amaze and annoy me in equal measure. He's like to have the same manner of immunity as I. Our village is positively brimming with poisonous flora and fauna, after all. I have a request for you, my dears. Would you please give up on your little trinket, pretty please? I wish only to revel in the fruits of my devilry, yet you continue to spoil my every attempt, and trust me, I despise our conflict as much as you do. Indeed, do you think we enjoy watching our finest mammoths suffer at your hands? Enough. If you truly wanted to end this, you'd hand over the heart sting. The scorpion's gifts weren't meant for a petulant, childish criminal like you. Fine then, no more Miss Nice Ellery, but answer me this. Who have my antics killed? Who? No one, I remind you. So why must you refuse me? Why must the world refuse me? Our blighted society has never looked fondly upon my love of mischief. For years I despaired, until my unbound family and its leader granted me the greatest gifts of all, love and understanding. So long as I remained unbound, I care not what the wretched masses think. I shall play my tricks as my heart desires, and all who stand in defiance will know my wrath. That includes you, my dears. The next scheme will finally plunge this island into chaos I so desperately crave, and I will stop at nothing to see it realized. Sorry to worry you. I'm feeling much better now. I'm ashamed I didn't sense that mammoth's presence quickly enough, but I'm glad you came out of the ambush unscathed. Aside, I wish they didn't use such putrid smoke to make their exits. I don't know if my nose or my stomach can take any more of those awful bombs. Delareet and Cocono are gone. I doubt we'll be able to find much else here. Let's return to Costa del Sol and inform them of the latest. Shall we report to Gagaruju? Back already. How fortuitous, or ominous, or both even. I take it you found those wayward mammoths? Surveying Vilbrand's waterways, are they? After the recent poisoning at the Camp Bronze Lake, we have reason to believe the culprits are planning to make Vilbrand's rivers their next target. So the culprits are one and the same, then? I'd had my suspicions since I caught wind of the incident at Warm Wine Springs. Regardless, this bodes ill. We may not know which of these rivers they'll strike until it's too late. I shall not stand for any more preposterous poisonings. It would be prudent to inform the Maelstrom of these potential horrors. One who poisoned you, her name is Elareet. She stole something precious from my village, and I must recover it, no matter the cost. If you learn anything of her whereabouts or her plans in the coming days, anything at all, I'd like to hear of it as well. Hell's bent on finding her, eh? A brave one you are. Oh, I couldn't possibly deprive a lovely lady of the information she requires. Worry not, for my servant shall sally forth in your general direction the moment they hear of Elareet's newest misdeed. Oh, thank you. That'd be much appreciated. It's going to be an uphill battle, but we can't afford to let Elareet and Kokonoa elude us any further. Come, back to Limsa Laminza with us. Thank you as always for your support. Gagaruju was interesting to say the least, but I'm glad we obtained the information we needed. I don't know why I allowed Elareet to say her piece. I should have swallowed my pain and taken up my spear. We could have apprehended her right then and there, and yet... No more room for mistakes. The longer Elareet lurks in the shadows, the greater the threat becomes. Countless lives are at risk. Next time we find her, we end her tricks once and for all. For now, I remain here and await news from Costa del Sol. Level 98, downed by the river, complete. Level 100, an antidote for anarchy. Loshkana is anxiously awaiting word from Costa del Sol. Hello there, I've been on the lookout for anyone from Costa del Sol, but nothing yet. Perhaps we should travel over there ourselves, just in case. Mr. Zilly, Mistress Loshkana. Forgive me for the sudden entrance, but I bring a message from Master Gagaruju. Your quarry has been sighted in eastern Lenosha. Oh, well, I'm glad I didn't leave early. Thank you for bringing word. Where in eastern Lenosha were they last seen? Master Waistguard, but recently received a report from Mistress Brayflox, a trusted associate of his. Oh, Brayflox. We're told a number of inbreakers with fighty tools and tinker dolls infiltrated her long stop. We have little doubt the inbreakers and tinker dolls she speaks are Ellerite and her troop. See, then we best find this Brayflox, and soon. Indeed, you're like to find her by the entrance to the long stop in Raincatcher Gully. My master and his associates wish you good hunting. We should get a first-hand account from Brayflox as well. Perhaps she'll have more to tell. Let's be off. Belongs. So this is Brayflox. I told her she reminded me of a moblin, but I got a bit of scolding for that. Not mobbies, she said gobbies. Yes, gobbies, and gobbies require hand lending to backstrike at inbreakers. Inbreakers bring big flock of tinker dolls to search for water gush. Water gush? Does Ellerite mean to poison the island's water source? Must be why they were researching the rivers. If the toxins are strong enough, anyone or anything that draws near the water would grow terribly ill. All of Vilbrand would fall into disarray. Poison makes no good for Gobbyflock, no good for Vilbrand, narrow hearts in need of many punishings. This goes far beyond trickery. We must end Ellerite's ambitions here and now. I doubt she'll come quietly, and she has the heart sting at her disposal, but with your aid, I know we can take it back. As soon as you're ready, we'll storm the long stop. Well, this is it. Ready to storm the long stop? Duty calls. Commence battle for an antidote for anarchy. Level 6 is in effect. If you're above the maximum allowed level, will be synced as follows. Level 100, item level 680. Proceed. I just hope it's not like the level 50 scholar quest where it's like Asuna the whole time. There they are. Ooh, I knew bringing those bits and bobs for battle was a good idea. If you're after some manner of surrender with heartfelt embraces and handing over magic heirlooms, you've come to the wrong long stop, my dear. You monster, you plan to poison every waterway in Vilbrand, don't you? Of course, the trick is to let the poison stew for a few bells with a healthy helping of those tantalizing toxins and a dollop of advanced alchemical processes. Poof, this eyesore of an island will get a taste of my finest work yet. My latest masterpiece neither dissipates nor evaporates, and no amount of inherent immunity can save you from its influence. May be safe to the touch, but one tiny sip will have you begging for mercy. That's no jest, by the way. I won't begin to describe what manner of havoc the experimental doses wreaked on me, but I will look forward to seeing how it affects the general populace. But yes, the residents of Limsa and its adorable little hamlets rely on this water, so very many people, blissfully unaware of what's to come. And every single one of those wretches will be at the mercy of our malice, every single one. He unleashes those toxins in the waterways. This is going to end up far worse than Bronze Lake. Playtime's over, Ellerite. The only wretches I see here are you two. Playtime's. Yeah, point. Your precious scorpion once hunted prey with these poisons. Yes, perhaps I should learn from its example and revel in the thrill of the chase. Expect that's my cue to back away. I'd rather watch the chaos unfold from a safe distance. These venomous gifts keep on giving. My very ether is infused with their essence. So now, my dears, Unbound, Ellerite Venom Heart. That's a little on the nose, huh? Time I hunt you for a change. Okay, so focus on healing. Yep. Oh, how many do I have? they doing? Seems like it's taking forever. Not the same. So. It's always a problem kind of with these that so used to the party lineup. So the targeting's been a lot better for this one than it has in some of the other ones. I don't seem to be doing much to this cloud. Oh no, I'm gonna die. I wasn't paying any attention. I was just trying to kill the damn poison thing and it wasn't doing anything. Toxins have betrayed me. I was like, I let my health get really, really low there for a second. Did he complete? And we got through it. just stopped healing and started trying to kill the bomb thing in the middle for some reason. No, fellow Reed, we must escape while we still can. A smoke bomb, quickly. Fine, have it your way. That's not a smoke bomb. What? That's a goblin made. Damn. No, no, no. You'll rue the day you made enemies of the unbound. She's left quite the mess behind her. Nothing the heartstring can't detoxify, though. Let's hurry and clear away the poison. Here you are. We came running once we heard the explosions, but I'm pleased to see you're none the worse for wear. Ellereet and Kokonoa picked up the wrong explosive. We should consider ourselves fortunate that goblin bombs resemble unbound smoke bombs. Gobi bombs and friendly faces win the day. Endbreakers go flying skyward. She's the best. We made our rounds of the long stop as well. The enemy mammoths patrolling the place have all gone lifeless. Your treasure is safe, I trust. Yes, thanks to Zilly's support. Very good. Should those troublemakers survive the impending fall, they won't pose the same threat without it. They do happen to show their sorry faces around here again. I've notified the Yellow Jackets to be on the lookout for them. They send their regards and their deepest gratitude, of course. The heart sting is safe again. Thank you for everything. Thank you too, Brayflox. We might not have found Ellereet and Kokonoa without you. Go. Brayflox happy gives hand lending. Important for all good Gobbies to offer hand lending to fellow Gobby friends. It's an honor to be counted among your Gobby friends. Indeed. Now, as eager as I am to get the heart sting safely back to Taral, I'd like to say my goodbyes to everyone here first, if that's all right. Bislam and Wazerigs deserve to know how everything transpired in the end, and for one thing, shall we make our way to Aleport? Well met, you two. How fares the hunt for Ellereet? Sent them flying, did you? Now those are what I call good tidings. To think they'd confuse a goblin explosive for their own smoke bombs. Ha, serves them right, I say. Ooh. With Mishloshkana's heirloom returned, we can breathe a collective sigh of relief. For one, and pleased there would be no more risk of poisoned elixirs. I wouldn't have wished those hiccups on my worst enemy. By the by, Miss Loskana, I knew you traveled far to get here, but I didn't realize you hailed from Taral. That's quite a voyage. Will you be heading home soon? Yes, that's right. Vilbrand is a fascinating place, but my village is probably worried sick about me, and the heart sting too, of course. Though your time here was short, you'll be sorely missed. We still have much to learn, but one day perhaps we might find our way to Taral as well. Well, that would be wonderful, and when you do, I'll look forward to hearing all about your adventure. And you, we had a feeling you were no ordinary adventurer. Imagine our surprise when we learned you were the savior of the realm herself. One of our Yellow Jacket acquaintances boasted about meeting the Warrior of Light while investigating the cereal poisonings, and that's when it dawned on us. She sends her regards, by the way. We've moms to go before we reach your lofty heights, but God's willing, we'll try to rise to the challenge. Indeed, you've given me much to aspire to as a fellow healer, and I shall do my utmost to follow your shining example. Be well, you two, and may we meet again on distant shores. Thank you both for your help. I'll never forget it. Time I return to Tiliolol, it would mean the world to me if you'd come too, Zilly. I wouldn't want to report our success to Neopene without you. Do-do-do-do. After all. Bing. Oshkana and Zilly as well. Your combined presence here can only mean one thing. Zilly and I have brought the heart sting home. So you have. I regret that I could not assist you, but I am relieved that all is well. Words cannot express my gratitude to you both. Taking back the heart sting was no easy task, but I learned a great deal on my journey to Eorzea. One of the Unbound, a man called Kokonova, possessed an inherent immunity to poison, built up by years of regularly ingesting small amounts. Rather than relying solely on the Scorpion's gifts to detoxify us, perhaps we might learn from those traditions and build up a stronger immunity of our own. It would be prudent to prepare ourselves in case something like this ever happens again. If we're to continue living among the deadly, perhaps it's time we found new ways to overcome the challenges we face. Throughout my life in the village, I thought I knew everything there was to know about the heart sting, but I now understand that the Scorpion's gifts can easily become a curse in the wrong hands. Power can poison a single water source, threaten countless lives on a whim. But at the same time, its detoxifying powers can save just as many. I began to wonder, could the heart sting provide succor outside our village? Should it, or will the risk prove too great? Excellent questions all. Knowing what the heart sting is capable of outside our borders, we must consider this carefully for the future of our people. I am certain your father will wish to speak more of it upon our return. As you can see, our community has much to consider if we're to keep thriving, but for the moment I'm simply glad the heart sting is back in Tyrol, and I can't thank you enough for your help. Until I met you, I'd never hunted alongside a healer, but knowing I had your support filled me with courage. Yours is a heartening presence, one I'm going to miss dearly. You have my gratitude and my trust, now and forever. As much as I'd like to, I won't keep you any longer. Nipin and I have a long trek home. Wish you all the best, and I know we'll meet again someday. Level 100, Antidote for Anarchy, complete. Achievement unlocked. A heart stings a heavy burden.